Greetings and welcome, drifters, to a look at Flotsam, a new game that has been published by Fawn, developed by Pajama, Llama, and it is now out in a 1.0, or it has been released. Now, technically, by the time I upload, this has been out for at least 2 days, but you know, I have my own schedule to keep. But anyway, what is Flotsam? Flotsam is a cozy builder, kinda in the style of Airborne Empire, which I've also recently displayed on my channel, but of course based on water, wherein you and your survivors are on board a tugboat that has survived a worldwide flood apparently, and are now building a city around your tugboat. It incorporates some things, at least appearances. I don't know if there's any cross connection anyway, but it operates a little bit like Airborne Empire, but it also, you know, has some elements that seem to be inspired by Oxygen Not Included or RimWorld, if you wish to go in that way. But obviously, much easier just to show things. The tutorial is good enough for what it is. And I do want to thank Fawn for the key they gave me for looking at this the game before it was out. All the options here are fairly functional, so you can all see what I have. And I've been playing around with this a little bit, as you can see, but for purposes of this, we're just going to start a new game. Alright, so here are my starting drifters. You can all see their story. They have pre-flood things and post-flood things that can be useful. For our purposes, construction, fishing, and a love for fishing and salvaging is probably fine. The researcher is kind of nice to have early on, and a lot of fisher. Some athletics is always cool. Yeah, I think these are fine. So salt mine, ransom, jumble. From the crew. Well, that's it then, Captain. Garbage floods washed away our village. Good thing with our ship to make our escape. Let's not sink into despair. Let's ride this wave and stay afloat. We're going to survive. No, we're going to thrive. We should transform our boat into a floating community. Today, we'll start rebuilding our civilization. First, what should we christen our new town? Well, obviously we can just go a couple of random times, but let's be a little bit more funny. There, Boek op Waterland. Boek op Waterland. Perfect. The future is ours. You have to be really Dutch to understand this reference, by the way. So why do we even start with building this whole floating community thing? Wait, look at all this plastic floating about. Perfect. The precious floating gift of garbage. It's practically begging for a second chance. Begging! Let's put it to use. Alright, well, your drifters will not necessarily just be constantly talking to you, so that if that's bothering you, and there's always tutorials for you to follow, but for the purposes of this, it's not necessary. Anyway, here is our little boat. Got everything we need. Storage of food, in cans, water in this little tower, battery, because our boat is electric, at the hand crank full, and just a little railing on the side to make sure that we can access everything. Currently we do not have anything we can use to build stuff, so we have to work with that. Now, first off, we need to start gathering some stuff. Now, we will need to collect all this plastic, so let's expand the range of zone that they want to pick. And let's just have all of them work on this, just to speed things up, since I can't do anything anyway until they bring it aboard. Some other things that are Of note, of course, there is the world map. This becomes important a little bit in a moment once we've collected all this. Obviously, there's stuff we can construct, but we'll get into that later. We have the overall management screen. Definitely want you to be fishing, and will be our researcher for the moment. Love these jobs, you can have a little bit of points in them. Our drifters will level up in time, and that can put skill points in here. They all also have favorite foods, so if we can get these foods, that will be cool. And well, we need to have a producer in order to do product management. Currently, our town is quite beautiful, according to the drifters. We have no knowledge gained yet. That is something that the drifters will earn over time as they do stuff. And here is the overall weight of our city. There is a maximum, so you can't infinitely build stuff. And of course, the heavier your town is, the more power it takes to move somewhere, which is kind of important. And this is the battery level currently available to us. Anyway, let's have our drifters collect the stuff. Right, they're done. Let's just get back on board. Okay, let us get started with a little plastic walkway. We do have some limitations. For instance, we cannot, of course, build into the prop itself. But other than that, we are free to build in each direction we want. We can even turn off snapping in the grid if we want to. I don't necessarily want to. I do like straight lines. And we also want a plastic workshop. Put the workshops on the right over here. And start building. Okay. Now we need way more floaters because just plastic waste is not going to give us any help. We can create 4 more. And we would like some tents for the house people, which I will put on the other side. But for that we need wood. I think I also want a small storage yard over here, just to put all the plastic we get in there. I want none of this, we just want plastic waste and floaters in here. And we now have the option to just set limits on anything like this. Okay, while we're waiting for that, we want some more resources. So let's bring the town over this way. And as you can see on the boat, these little shaded areas that indicate where a city is. Our buildings are. So we can keep an eye on that. Move over here. Right. And let's also grab more stuff. Now we need some wood. And we need some more plastic. And there is more plastic and wood over there, but currently the only way my people can get there is by swimming. Let's not overdo that. I just want to speed things up. I do also need to kinda keep an eye out on that I don't overtax my people. I do kinda need to set up some other stuff as well. Like, I need a manual dryer. And you can see there is some whales swimming about. Those are harmless so far, that I've noticed. Okay, manual dryer. Keep producing more floaters. Bringing in stuff. Despite all appearances, my drifters actually do not particularly care for being wet. In order to make most use of the wood, we need to dry it off. Same thing here. I would like to store all my wet and dry wood in a bigger box. And then we need to start thinking about getting some houses. However, as we have completely mined out this area, on to the next. Ooh, and there's some seaweed over there. The day progresses. And currently my drifters are quite happy to just be. See if we can make them some duo tents. That's the wood done again. There's some of the plastic was a little bit out of reach. So grab that. And we do have only limited storage on the boat and even with these small storages. We can solve that in a moment. Now, just have to make do. Okay, we got the floaters. Now I need a sawmill. What's the... Can't rotate this building. Okay, let's just put it... Make sure that I don't... I leave a little gap here. Right. First night is done. And my drifters will just sleep wherever. They prefer sleeping in the bed, of course, but for now their mood is fine. They're still filled with hope and dream. We'll see how long that lasts. So we need to start turning the dry wood into planks, so we can actually use it. there's a couple of things I will need to take care of, and that is basically needs for this community to have water, food, and shelter. Preferably in that order, but we need so much more wood. Also start grabbing more stuff. And we may as well grab this seaweed. Okay. Put the desalinator aside. Like the buildings are not quite lining up, but there is an option later for reconstructing the cities in a way that is more pleasing to you. But it is kind of important to at least have a desalinator operational. Okay. Single little log. You can also see on the map how big a deposit is. Well, it's probably not worth your time. Although at this particular point in time, I probably could do with using everything I find. Seaweed is a basic ingredient. We can turn that into food in pallet spinner. I need more plastic at the moment, so go and grab that. Now, the desalinator, of course, will not do anything for me at the moment because I do not have any firewood. We can get firewood, I think. Yeah, we can make a chopping block. Fits a little bit better in here. However, at the moment, I do not really want to use the dry wood as my fuel source, and we still have enough water for now that it is not a direct concern. Let's grab more floaters. And let's also clean up the ocean a little bit more by picking up all the plastic. And the second day is already close to an end. Happiness is still fine. Though they are without home. Gonna be a very much more significant modifier as the days go longer. And we are gonna need some more supplies soon enough. Right, let's start building some. That should bring us mostly away. May as well keep picking up wood. Other stuff. Second housing. Food issue is starting to get a little bit more pressing. So let's start saving up for a salad spinner. And grab some more seaweed. Looks like we're getting close to a zone. Finally, signs of what's left of civilization, although you can see some of that underneath the waves. Based on the amount of coral reefs, this has been underwater for quite some time. Nature is healing itself. So a few of you can salvage that. We need tons more plastic, however, to work out. Now, you can also move the boat while people are still salvaging stuff. Which is kind of funny, but I don't recommend you do that, because I don't know if your swimmers can go indefinitely, and until you can develop boats for them. Even then, you probably want to make sure that everyone is on board before you leave. Make sure that someone is actually doing work. This is of course all the easy stuff. The game loop in itself I find very satisfying. Very satisfying. Okay, we have enough now for the salad spinner. This side it doesn't really matter where I put this. Let's give them a little bit more space. Okay. And there is one more bit of plastic floater. I do want that. Saves me a lot of effort. Now, salad spinner, we can make seaweed salad, which is kind of icky, but it is food, and that's more important. We can also make potato salad, which is fine. But we do need to find some potatoes, and we can also make polluted seaweed salad if you have absolutely nothing else. Let's just make some regular seaweed salad for now, and work out details later. Create a little food storage for it over here. Now, what we next want is to get a research station going. That will allow us to build up our civilization properly. and get us access to the research tree. I need you to stop this, and I want you to store seaweed and kiwi salad. We already started to add some weight to the boat, but for now it doesn't really influence us. Wait, we have finished selfishing all this, and there's nothing else in view that I can really do. Now, as you can see, there's this slight circle around us that indicates the range that our town can go. The current battery. We can go quite far. Captain, there on the horizon. A scouting landmark. I bet if we climb to the top, we'll see all sorts of junk begging for upscaling. Well, that sounds like a fair thing to go for. There's some fish around, but currently we do not have a means to fish, so just gonna have to leave that be. And our battery has run dry. Will need to be cranked up. Still, this is in range, so let's just scout the region. Now, there are some healthy trees on this little island, but I do not have any chopping tools, so I can't get them. We'll, however, go and grab this wood. We also have some dead trees over here. A tinder. Or we can use as tinder. We will want those. Captain, smoke up ahead. Could it be a survivor? Show me. Over there. Yay. Alright, that's definitely where we go next. So I probably want to swing by this little plastic deposits and build up a little bit more. Since we cannot grab this stuff anyway. Get a little bit closer here so that I actually grab all this wood. Probably just set this dry wood in now. I don't think there's any particular use for wet wood. It is an unrefined resource after all. Okay, while we are here, I definitely will want to pick up this stuff. Luckily the boat can just drift backwards. Grab the tinder. And let's gather more seaweed. We have plenty of storage at the moment, so make full use of that. And we just need more wooden planks, and then we can build a research station, which my drifters find to be quite a nice building. You can go and get some more athletics. And we already started to garner some knowledge, which will be useful once we are able to build the research station. At the moment, most of the buildings I've been putting on this side are ugly, and everything I put on this side is beautiful. And using the Minecraft method of gathering sticks, punching it with your fists. So we have plenty of food reserves. Luckily, as far as I know, food doesn't spoil, so you can pretty much store this stuff indefinitely. Okay. In there. You can start turning into some fresh water. I think while it is doing this, it's kind of causing some pollution. That's fine for now. Our island can handle that. Meantime, let us move forward. I would like to pick up this plastic. I mean, I want to go buy all these buildings over there, but for now, going this direction seems like the better choice. There could be a survivor over there, an extra hand. Definitely help. While I'm thinking about it, probably will want to expand my walkways. Another day passes. I've lost some water, but everything else has gone up. And our supply of things we possibly will want to make grow. I'm just creating a little bit extra storage for water, because as we get more drifters, that water cost per day will start ramping up quite quickly. Just need some more wooden planks, but in the meantime, let us move over here. Okay, find the survivor first. Campfire ants is smoldering. We just missed them. We're on the move, they'll be looking for food and water. Check the usual spots, see if we can catch up. Well, in the meantime, let's loot their place. Grab the plastic junk and the furniture. Because we can build a recycler to turn the that stuff into something more useful. The plastic junk at least. I only have regular water. An island done. Yeah, this is definitely why I want more people on the island, on our town, because, well, so many jobs that can just not be fulfilled while we're doing either the scavenging. But we do need all that stuff. Stuff like firewood. Let's give the sawmill a slightly higher priority. You can be a better researcher. You won't be able to do this. Okay, done there. Let's go grab old church. And some more plastic while we're at it. There is our that person that we're looking for. Other than that, there's not much else here. The hardware store will probably be useful to us. Doubt it. Now we should have a slightly better view of the surrounding area. Looks like there's a big farming area over here. At least one survivor on board for the finishing of this showcase. That stuff. Kinda hesitant to put this on full auto. While we do need a lot of water, we also need the firewood for other things, like cooking. And let's make you a better fisherman. I'm not salvaging anything. Move. Movement over there in the supermarket. Okay, a little bit closer. Whoa, what? You scared the salt of me. Take it easy. We're passing through and found your campfire. Want to see if you're okay? Wow, that's actually really thoughtful. Sorry, I haven't seen anyone in a while. Didn't expect company while I was munching crumbs here. Get your bags packed, food stocked, drifting or heading somewhere. I'm hopping islands towards the city further out, hoping that I'll find other people. Making surviving less lonely, you know? Hey, like you found me first. Where are you folks anyway? Other township, Brook of Waterland. We've been drifting around looking for survivors. Hold up, you're telling me I can join you lot? Yes. Oh boy, this is gonna be great. Well, the water puns are just gonna keep on coming. And giving out with this food, we could use it for the journey ahead. Definitely. Fortunately, we cannot yet scavenge that. I don't think I have the shop for that, but we can now finally build the research. Let us put that there. And we have enough space for the new drifter. So we'll just scavenge remaining food. Just grab all this stuff. And just building more stuff. Alright, research has been unlocked. Here is the entire research tree that we have. Quite a beefy one, not too long overall. And most things we can just easily do with the knowledge we have so far. So let's get rope lashing done. That's the first thing we can research. Yeah, most of these will be easy enough to do, although some of them require some specialities. Like radio communication, of course, needs someone that can operate radios. Farming, a person that knows about farming. Botany, architecture, medicine, chemistry, engineering, bird keeping, something with fish life, chemistry, someone who's good with electricity, someone who's good in cooking, then history texts that I have no idea what they are about because I did not get this far in the game yet. Okay, and you just ate something you didn't like. Let's have a look at our new person, Ayla Hopper. They like liquid handling, they like doing the power thing, and they like carrying stuff. And you prefer to have quarter flounders. Yeah, well, you're not yet ready for any of that. Recently you've eaten one of these and you don't like them. Well, yeah, I can't fault you for that, but that's really not my fault. Alright, so let's also get the recycler up and running. Try to keep our place a little bit organized. Alright, so already finished research first stack, which makes sense, it's kind of fast. Let's go for... let's go for basic tools. That'll be useful. First new thing we have is the rope crafter. Still doing the supermarket leftovers. Fine. Still chopping things up. Alright. Rope crafter. With rope out of seaweed. Not sure how strong that really is, but, you know, that's fine with me. We can set a little bit of a limit on this one. We don't need much, just 10 ropes will be fine, and we can just set that to infinite. And then we just need to find some seaweed. Should be easy enough. Can I also get the better storage, but it requires rope. And for now, I don't want to change anything. We're still sorting stuff out. And we have a lot of plastic to sort, so let's get that on the way as well. But I've not finished collecting. What is hold up? Oh. Don't know why it was set to salvaging boats. Well, hopefully some will now swim over there and grab the food. Yeah, salvaging boat is indeed a tech we can get over here. We don't have that yet. So it's kind of pointless to spend that now. And we can't yet do this because we don't have any salvaging pots. The hardware store should be able to help us there. Come on. Move over to the slowed down fast food joint. I also have no means of collecting bio waste, which is fine because that's a resource I can't currently use. Doing stuff. Go for scrap smithing. Because we will want to get metal at some point. We will need for some of our items. Out of wood. Piling up the firewood. We need loads of that. Filling our water tanks. So much to get. It kind of show it. There is an element of upgrading stuff. Currently that's not really possible because I don't have the means to upgrade anything. Search is done. I kind of wish I could queue up stuff, but I don't think that's a possibility. Let's get seaweed growing for now. It'll be a useful resource to get automatically as it is. I mean, there is plenty of seaweed in the sea, but you always need a little bit more just when you don't have any access. Alright, we're done here. Start moving forward to the hardware store. Right, we'll take all the tools. And I could go grab that, I don't feel like it. I'll just leave that be. See if we can move on to the next area. Okay, so that has given us access to the scrapsmith, toolmaker, but just we need some rope. I'll need a lot of stuff. Kinda out of resources. Let's start turning our plastic waste into something we can actually use. You also like the animation. Cool. Right. Really, you couldn't bring the bone hammer? They're just going quicker than I thought. Let's get reconnaissance, because I kind of want to get all this set up. Right, I need rope. Down here. Let's go quickly grab that seaweed over there. And we may as well go have a quick peek at the tower. Out the region, we don't... Well, we have enough access to grab the trees, but I don't want to do that right now. Okay. You show up? Not particularly. I want to go over to these farm ruins because it looks like they left some tools behind. You always need more tools. Right. Start producing some ropes now. Within the limits I have set. Still have plenty of food, so I'm not too worried about making more. But for now, I just would want to keep that under manual control. Try to make some more floaters. Get some ropes. Can I fit this in somewhere? Unfortunately, no. Okay, well, I have to make space for it then. Yeah, I was a little bit worried this would happen. Because of the angle, we can't quite do this. And can I disable snapping? No, not let me quit. The snap it in order to get it to recognize that I want it here. But then it interferes with that. Do the small drying rack for now. Fine. Just for demonstration purposes, of course. We also would like to set up the tool maker. Right, so the drying rack essentially allows us to dry wood naturally. Not quite as fast as the manual dryer, but it can do multiple pieces at the same time. And if you have the resources, you can just put it into a big drying rack. Okay, let's around. Find some more stuff. Right, let's take the demolition tools and the furniture. And I would like to set up the toolmaker. Also go grab that wood. Right, now we can make a variety of tools, although apparently not all, clearly not all of them, because I lack metal plates. I have not yet, I don't think I've found a use for ladders just yet. Don't all ever and then being used for anything. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get any major action at this particular point, because that will just take longer. So, just save here. And let's see if I can go on this showcase a world I've been playing on a little bit. Let's try loading it anyway. This is just for demonstration purposes. This is a game that I've been playing for 77 days as it shows in-game. And, well, it's mostly working fine. It looks like a bit of a mess because I was just flailing at the controls at some points. Yeah, this is how a town can look once it's fully built out, and this one is pretty much overloaded on stuff. All the heavy industry that you can attach to it, like oil refinery, also like the food truck that doesn't move. And of course, I've got several farms, mill, potato farm, and I've recently started making a cornfield, which still needs some more time to grow, but that has to do with our fish stuff. Overall, our city is quite beautiful. Right. I'm not sure what that has to do with anything. But yeah, we also have the architect station, where we can go into architect mode and rearrange everything. You can see I have gotten through a lot of the research tree overall. Still a couple of things missing, but we will get there eventually. We had some quests going that we still need to do. Like we need to research fish farm, get a seed bank built, and we were trying to make some ocean taffy, which requires that we have corn syrup, which I couldn't make yet because I didn't have any corn for a long while. As it is. Anyway, this has just been my initial look at Flotsam, a game currently available in 1.0, fully released. The main narrative quest line, new specialists and quests, new biomes, construction upgrades and achievements. Out now, available, link in the doobly-doo if you wish to check it out. And let me know if you want to see more of me playing this game. I kinda enjoy this one. But anyway, that's all from me. Thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed. See you all next time. Bye!